So the sneak peek for chapter 8 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex just came out, and Jura and Hidari seem to have made their way into the village. Their invasion has begun. But it doesn't seem like the typical invasion that we are used to seeing, where the enemy comes and directly goes to fight the main character. No, Kijimoto is taking his time with Hidari and Jura, and what we are currently seeing them doing is continuing their path towards knowledge, as this is what it seems like Jura is doing. This is the page that we are given. Look, Hidari, it's an old bookshop. This is fascinating. For an unexpected encounter, it looks promising. Are you here, Uzumaki Naruto? Interesting. I like the way he said it, with a strained face. This is the only piece of information that we are given, and obviously they're not going to give us the most groundbreaking part of the chapter, but there's a few things that we can learn just by seeing Jura and Hidari appearing in the village, and it seems like they go into a bookstore first. And this makes perfect sense for somebody like Jura. We saw Jura in the Ten Tails dimension, or in their clan meeting dimension. We saw Jura literally reading book after book. And then it is after he was reading and said that by gaining knowledge, he realized that he really knew nothing, that he decided to go and find Naruto. And he knew that Naruto would be in the village. And that's why Hidari and Jura are in the village as we see them today. However, with this page, there are a few questions that are answered about the true abilities that Jura and the Shinshu truly possess. First, we can assume that Jura and Hidari have not been detected by the Leaf Squad, or they wouldn't be able to go into the village without somebody at least trying to stop them. This is the first thing that we can see. Hidari and Jura are walking around the village, a village that appears abandoned. The first thing, as I said, is the fact that Jura and Hidari are not being detected by the Leaf Sensory Force. This means that they are hiding their chakra signal, just like Boruto and Kawaki have been shown to be able to do as Otsusukis. This means that Jura possesses Otsutsuki-like traits, and this is what we have been seeing chapter after chapter. In chapter 4, we saw that Jura could actually fly. In chapter 5, we saw that Bug was able to resist Ida's omnipotence, and even making threats saying that he would go and find Ida, to the point where Ida herself was disgusted and kind of scared. We can clearly see that they are able to spot Ida's clairvoyance using her Sharingan, but we also see that the Shinshu are not affected by Ida's abilities, or at least Bug for the very least. We see Jura being able to fly, and we see Jura and Hidari who are undetected by the Leaf's Sensory Force. I think it is safe to say that these guys are maybe not 100% Otsutsuki, but they are more Otsutsuki than anything else. And this must be because of what Code did to the Ten Tails, and how Ishiki's karma really affected each of the Shinshu and the Ten Tails as a whole. What we're currently seeing right now is a beautiful duo. I love the duo of Jura and Hidari. Hidari low-key seems like Jura's right-hand man. Jura seems to be the leader who has a better grasp of what it means to be a human and how humans act. And Hidari seems to be just like Sasuke, a little cold, a little bold, but I really like the process that Kijimoto is giving these characters. We're not seeing Jura go directly and fight Boruto and Kawaki. Kijimoto is taking his time and developing these characters chapter by chapter. I don't think this arc is going to finish anytime soon. Not like the Code arc. I think this is going to be an arc that is as long as the Kawaki/Isiki saga. But there's also another important question, and that is, where is Matsuri and where is Bug Shinshu clone? We don't see them in this page, and it seems like they are not with Jura and Hidari. This leaves us with two potential options. One being that they are still in Ishiki's dimension, the dimension where the Ten Tails was stored, or it is that they split up in groups of two, Hidari and Jura, and Matsuri and Bug Shinshu clone. This could be a potential option, and we could see a bit of guerrilla tactics in them trying to find out what they're truly going to do in the village. But what I can really see from Jura and Hidari's interaction from this page alone is that they do not have this hostility. They are chilling, they are walking, they're not running towards to go and find Kawaki. They could easily do so and detect his chakra signal, or at least Boruto, because both of them has met Boruto in the past. Hidari fought Boruto, and Jura literally talked to Boruto, telling him that he can't run from his destiny. So if they were hostile, they could have simply went to go find Boruto and get all their questions answered. But no, they are walking around trying to figure out more about the village and Naruto Uzumaki. We know that Naruto is the Hokage, so it makes sense that they're strolling around the village to find out about Naruto's village. Some of you guys may say, why is there nobody in the village? It appears like the owner of the shop is not there himself, and it appears that nobody is there actually going to check out new books. We know at the bookstore, at least, there are a few people looking at the shelves trying to find something, but it appears like nobody is there. Literally, Hidari pops up and asks, "Are you here, Naruto Uzumaki?" But nobody answers, nobody seems to be there. And this may simply be due to the fact that they are in hiding. We know that the Clawgrams popped into the village, and Code himself too. So the village went into hiding, like we have seen in the Pain invasion and Orochimaru's invasion in the first part of Naruto. This has been a common theme, so it makes sense that if Code, somebody who is stronger than Jigen, popped up in the village with his Clawgrams, it makes sense that nobody is here due to the fact that they are still in hiding, which means that in the timeline, this is either the same day or the day after, which seems quite accurate to me. All of this happened in a short time frame. Even though we are waiting month by month to get another chapter, it seems like this is all happening at once. But as I have said, they seem to have hidden their chakra signal. So it could be the case that only Otsutsuki's can detect it, just like Boruto was the only one who could detect Kawaki when he ran away to go fight Code, and Kawaki was the only one who could detect Boruto when he was hiding his chakra signal while talking to Sarada and Sumire. It could be the case that only Boruto and Kawaki, as Otsutsuki's, can be able to detect Jura, Hidari, and potentially Matsuri and Bug, who are in the village. But one thing that you have to remember is that Boruto is far outside the village, and he was fighting Mitsuki far away from the village, at least 100 meters away from the village, due to Ino's statement about how far she could maintain the communication between Boruto and Shikamaru. This could mean that Boruto is unable to sense Jura and Hidari's entrance into the village, which means that the only person who would really know would be Kawaki, and potentially Ida, due to her clairvoyance abilities that she possesses, which is not the best news that we could hear. Kawaki obviously doesn't like the idea of teaming up, and Damon literally told Kawaki that he really doesn't care, but what is he really going to do when Jura pulls up into the village asking for where Naruto truly is? This moment seems to have arrived, as Kawaki and Damon are probably going to be the ones to confront Jura and Hidari first, after Ida or Kawaki himself finds out about the entrance of Jura and Hidari. But it could also be the case that Damon and Kawaki would have to split up, because if Matsuri and Bug are in the village, somebody is going to have to deal with them. Mitsuki is probably not going to be in the best condition to fight due to fighting Boruto, and Boruto is still outside the village talking to Shikamaru, or at least he is unaware of what is going on. So if Hidari, Jura, Matsuri, and Bug are all in the village, and we know that they split up in a group of 2, somebody's going to have to go to either group. So Damien goes to one group, which will probably be Bug or Matsuri, and then Kawaki goes to the other group, which will most likely be Jura and Hidari. And this really isn't the best of news for Kawaki. As of right now, they don't seem to be quite hostile. They literally pulled up in the village, going to bookstores, trying to find more information about Naruto Uzumaki. But with a person like Kawaki, as soon as he hears Jura ask him the question of, "Yo, where is Naruto Uzumaki?" that's where Kawaki is going to get aggravated and may push Jura to actually fight him. Because if Jura suspects that Naruto is still alive, it means that Kawaki has to do everything to kill Jura. Because if Jura starts spreading information about Naruto being alive, and we know that Naruto is not part of the omnipotence, people might start waking up, so Kawaki will be forced to fight Jura. And not only am I not sure that Jura is going to be able to fight Kawaki, but Hidari is also there, and there is no way that a character who is no match for Code will be able to fight both of these opponents. Matsuri literally called Code a clown. So what is Kawaki, who is weaker than Code? This is going to be quite interesting, and I don't think the entire chapter is going to be one about fighting. I think we're going to learn a lot more about Jura, Hidari, and we're going to get more of a sense of their personalities, with the end of the chapter giving us a massive cliffhanger of either Jura about to fight Kawaki or Jura popping in to the Daikokoden dimension. The only reason I see this as a possibility is due to the fact that Jura literally has Ishiki-like cubes, and if Jura is derived from Ishiki's DNA or Ishiki's karma, then it could mean that Jura would have access to Kawaki's Daikokoden dimension, which would allow Jura to go and meet Naruto himself and potentially unseal Naruto to go and talk to him, which is something that Kawaki doesn't want to happen. And all of this may push Kawaki to a corner, and if Kawaki is pushed to a corner, he might do something that ends up hurting humanity as a whole and leading to the age of Shinobi being over. But that's just what we learn from that one page. So we'll see with the spoilers that are most likely going to come out tomorrow or Monday. So make sure to subscribe and tap into the next video, because we will be discussing the spoilers when they do come out.